And now I am recording. So welcome, you guys. We're so happy that you came here. We have a little shred presentation for you. So if you're wanting to learn more about the shred, we are going to get started. I'm going to quickly bring up our presentation. Give me just a second. There we go. So you guys, thanks so much for taking a few minutes.
Go to the first slide. That's our last.
Oh, is that the last one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There we go.
There
we go. Welcome to Shred 10. All right, we're cooking with gas now. So you guys, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to join us. I know you all have a lot of other things that you could be doing, so we appreciate you taking the time to get onto this Zoom. And you're here to learn about the shred, so let's get right into it. My name's Kristen, and I'm a registered dietitian, and I've been doing a monthly shred for almost 4 years now, every month for almost 4 years. So why do we even need to shred? And really there's two main reasons. And first of all is that we are exposed to toxins from the time we're born. They're in the air, the water, the soil, the foods we eat, the products we use, such as plastics, and even in the stuff that we put on our skin. These toxins build up in our body. And luckily for us, we have a liver, which is our main organ for getting toxins out of the body. But for the liver to do its job efficiently, it has to have the right nutrition, which is really fruits and vegetables. The nutrition in fruits and vegetables is the nutrition that the liver needs to get toxins out of our body. Which brings me to my second reason to shred, which is 90% of us, according to the CDC, are not getting enough fruits and vegetables in our bodies on a daily basis. And the food that we are eating is not as nutritious, and specifically the fruits and vegetables that we're eating are not as nutritious as they were 50 years ago. So this is due to a lot of reasons, including nutrient depletion in our soil, increased consumption of processed foods, our food being picked before it's ripe and then shipped thousands of miles before it's sold, and the fact that we really have access to cheap fast food pretty much on every corner in this country, right? So if we don't get plant nutrition, our body can't properly get rid of toxins. And if toxins build up in our body, it leads to all kinds of complications, including poor energy, poor sleep, health conditions like heart disease, diabetes, digestive problems, autoimmune disease, and even some cancers. So in addition, weight management is more difficult when we have excess toxins in our body. And I want to spend just a minute telling you about this because let's face it, a lot of people are wanting to lose weight. So I'm going to be talking about the top of the screen here, the black part. So at first, toxins are fat soluble. This means that toxins wrap up in fat. And when we go on a traditional diet, which is depicted in the black part, we burn calories through diet and exercise. But unless we're getting 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables, the foods that the liver needs to get the toxins out of the body, the toxins stay in the body. Even though we're losing fat, the toxins stay in there and become fat magnets. They want to attract more fat to wrap back up into as a protective mechanism for our body so that those toxins don't hit organs and cells and tissues. Okay, this is what results in rebound or yo-yo dieting. On the other hand, if we concentrate on our efforts on flooding the body with fruits and vegetables to give the liver the nutrition it needs to get rid of the toxins, the body doesn't have a need to hold on to fat. And that's what's depicted in the green part of the screen. And the fat can more easily be shed, resulting in more efficient fat loss and ultimately easier and more permanent weight loss. So the key is to get more fruits and vegetables into our bodies. And I've been a dietitian for 30 years, and this sounds so easy, but ultimately, even after 30 years of telling people to eat more fruits and vegetables, very few people are just able to achieve it. very, like the CDC says, 10% of people are getting enough on a daily basis. So knowing how important this is, the shred is centered around getting as much produce in our bodies as possible. And we do this by making fruits and vegetables the foundation of our meals and snacks, and using whole plant powders to ensure our liver is getting the nutrition it needs to get the toxins out of the body and ultimately improve our health. So you see the screen up here that shows Juice Plus. We always recommend food first. We want to put as much whole food in our bodies as possible, but Juice Plus is plant-based nutrition from more than 30 fruits, vegetables, berries, grains, and oils. In addition, we also put plant-based protein powder that puts good calories in our body, helps us to feel full, and cuts down on food cravings by stabilizing blood sugar. So I've talked a little bit about why we want to shred, and then really the first and primary goal of the shred, which is to get more plant nutrition in our bodies. And I'm going to turn this talk over to Lisa Bartlett, who is going to discuss the other guidelines of the Shred 10. Take it away, Lisa.
Mute Lisa.
I told
There you
myself.
Oops.
I did it. So I am Lisa Bartlett, and I have been shredding now on and off for about 2 years, but seriously for the last 6 months, because of really learning what Kristen was talking about on the dot man screen. I'm calling it the dot man slide, about the toxins and how what we need to actually eliminate them, and that we can't until we turn them water soluble, which blew my mind. So so I've been seriously doing it now for 6 months and have noticed a big difference, but we can talk about that later. So we talked about 1 and 2, 3, plenty of water, which helps shred the toxins once we've done the more vegetables and fruits and done everything else. The water helps push everything out. 7 to 8 hours of sleep, so important, and deep breaths during the day, meditating. We have lots of information on why we need that much sleep. I won't, because I can go into it for hours right now of why we need to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. We can give you that information. Exercise most days, because as you know, just getting our heart rate up, and also just sweating out some of those toxins, that helps as well. We don't want to bombard you and stress you out, because the first time I thought about shredding, I was like, I am not giving up my caffeine in the morning. Well, we want to meet you where you're at. Reduce or eliminate. You just, as long as you know that, putting more toxins from the caffeine and alcohol, eating past 6, and processed foods, we're putting those are all toxins that are coming in our body. And when we're shredding, we want to not put in those toxins so that we can get out what's in there. But, it says eliminate or reduce, and no stress. What you can do is the best for you. And then we want to eliminate gluten and dairy and artificial and refined sugars, because those are big in the toxin department. And during those 10 days, we really want to get rid of the extra toxins that we're putting in, that we normally put in, so that we can get out the ones that are already in there. And I want to talk to you guys about, these are the results that most people see. I would like to say, for me, what made me actually keep going, even if I wasn't consistent at the beginning, is eliminating a lot of that stuff and putting the fruits and vegetables, all the extra fruits and vegetables in my body. I had cystic acne bad as an adult. Didn't even have acne as a kid. And as an adult, it was bad. And I was on medication for it, and I decided that once I started taking Juice Plus and shredding, I was going to see what would happen, see if it would heal from the inside out. And I don't have cystic acne anymore. Don't get me wrong, I still will get the occasional one, but it's not like it was. It's not chronic, and I'm not on medication. So you'll crave more fruits and vegetables. which we all do now that we've been doing it for so long. Healthier weight, because we're not yo-yoing, which I'm a testament to that, because I've kept off 50 pounds that I lost about 5 years ago, and I haven't put it back on. Improved sleep, increased energy, healthier hair, nails, and skin. My hair is so healthy right now, and I'm going to be 53 years old, and it's still long and thick. Improved regularity. I think most of us can attest to that, and increased mental clarity. So it's pretty amazing once you start shredding and seeing. Will definitely see many of those benefits that come from it. And so we want to meet you guys where you are at, and there are many ways to actually get there. Obviously, we were talking about doing Juice Plus, and we're not talking about that right now. We're going into Shred Stories, aren't we?
We are going into Shred Stories, yeah. So we're going to come back, but we want to take I stopped the screen share for a minute because I want to take a few minutes to just, we're going to talk, we got shredders on here. So we're going to talk with our shredders and just sort of get their take on how the shred has been for them.
Can you unmute them?
Yeah. And you guys can unmute yourself as well.
Right.
I'll get you here. I think Tammy's still muted.
Yeah.
There we
go.
I think we're both. Okay.
Great. I just want to thank our shredders for being here with us today. My name's Irene, and we're going to be asking just a couple of questions here today. So my first question is going to be for Liz. What were the main reasons you decided you wanted to make a change and shred with us?
Probably one of the biggest ones, besides my sister Lisa just asking if I wanted to join it and do it, which I appreciate her doing, was at the start of COVID. What really did it is I was doing an overhaul on my diet to begin with. I was noticing that by eating a lot of like red meats or porks or things, my system was just not having it. It just was not agreeing with it. So then as COVID kind of went through, and we had stress and anxiety and homeschooling and working from home, like I just felt like icky on the inside. So I figured it was like a really good time just to try it out and start it and see, like, just to overhaul my body. And right out of the first one out of the gate, I noticed when it was done, I wasn't craving like sugar. I wasn't craving alcohol. I wasn't craving like, you know, those things. And if like somebody did offer like a beverage of the adult kind, I typically would go with beer. And in this one, I'm like, oh, it's too heavy. I don't want that. So I just noticed that my body was telling me I didn't want or need those things as much. And this month is actually my second month in a row, and I'm noticing like even more of a difference doing it consistently. So yeah, that biggest one was I wasn't liking what my body was feeling and just needed an overhaul.
Well, those are great results right there, just after 2 months. So
yes.
Connor, same question.
Yeah. So what was I interested in the shred for? Is that right?
Yeah. What made you decide that you wanted to come shred with us?
I think it first started with my health goals. So a few months ago, I really started taking some time to reflect and see where I was in life. I recently graduated from college, so I have some kind of lifestyle changes that are coming up. And then also with being in quarantine, I think, you know, we're all seeing there are areas where we can improve or things that, you know, maybe we don't see as ideal just yet. So I think the shred has a lot of the components that I was researching for a healthier lifestyle. So adding in the hydration, the sleep, plant-based nutrition, and then also being able to be with more of a community structure and learning from others. I think that's a really good appeal to it too.
Well, thank you very much, Connor. Lisa, I think you have a couple of questions, or a question.
I do. So then our next question is, how has your life been impacted after following the guidelines on the shred, and have you incorporated any of them after the 10 days into your everyday life? Connor, since you were just talking, why don't you continue with that question?
Sure. So I've been around the shred for a few months, but the first time I really did it seriously was last month. And I think the main thing I noticed was I was changing the relationship I had to food and exercise in my body. So exercise was something I never really liked doing or thought of myself as a athletic person, but giving myself a moment to, see what kind of exercise I might like doing, like walking, exploring those options. That was something I really appreciated. And I did find myself losing some weight after the first 10 days. So that was a nice change and something I've been looking to do kind of in the next year or so. I've been putting together some health management plans.
That's awesome.
And then I would also just say it helped reinforce some of the healthy habits that I already had. So things like drinking lots of water, trying to start the day in a positive mindset, breathing and meditation. It helped, me see that I was doing good in some of these departments and also give me space to start making some new changes and carry on some new habits. And I think going forward, I'm going to try each month continuing one guideline to the next month and just trying to really cement that habit. So I'm looking forward to adding sleep for this next month.
Okay, I'm going to do that with you. Let's do that. Tammy, how about you? The same thing. How has your life been impacted after following the guidelines on the shred and incorporating them into your everyday life? And I know you've been shredding for a while now, so it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, when I first started, it's a big adjustment because, I had developed a lot of bad habits. Fast food was not very, being a widow of 2 kids and, incorporating, everything else in life, going through everything. It was a convenience. But then I saw Irene's post and I'm like, how does she have all this energy? What is her secret? So I talked to her and got involved in the shred. And initially starting, like I said, you got old habits developed and it's hard to break the old habits as it is to create new ones. So it takes a little time. Not every month was a great month. Not every month was a bad month. But, I like the shred because it is you can incorporate it to your lifestyle and you can change it when you need to change it. Some days I can do pretty much all of the guidelines, but then there are some shreds where I'm lucky if I can do half. But every day is a clean slate. You just pick up where you left off and you move on. So I'm always going to shred. It may not be perfect every month, but I know when I'm consistent and I know when I apply myself to it, it works. It really does work. I've learned a lot about food, and that was a big issue too, is, you can exercise as much as you want, but until you get your food in check and you eat the way you're supposed to eat and the way your body will adapt, that's not going to work. There's no diet that's going to work. So to me, it's a perfect lifestyle change that I'll never stop.
It's so true. Because you can't outrun the fork. You can't outrun it. And I mean, that's a true testament right there. We're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect, and it's okay. But we know that we followed some of them this day. Tomorrow we might be better. Who knows? We might be worse. But we know that because we know better, we can do better.
Right.
So, it's awesome.
Definitely.
Does anyone have any, do we have one more question on does anyone have any thoughts on just the community, our shred community in particular?
That was the next question.
Maybe we could hear from Liz and Tammy again, or I know Connor said just a little bit about liking the community, but what are your thoughts on the community, Tammy?
I think it's great. I think it's a great support system. It helps me stay accountable and keep myself focused on the shred when I'm not feeling like I'm going to be able to get through the day. I just look at the page and I see everybody else's comments, and it kind of helps motivate you. It kind of helps you realize it's doable. Everything is doable. So I love the community itself. The fact that we can exchange recipes, and that keeps everything fresh. So you don't get stale with the same you know, eating the same salad every day kind of gets kind of boring. So it's nice to be able to exchange things with other people to keep the shred fresh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How about you, Liz?
Yeah.
And I'd have to probably echo that. I mean, just the support system from everybody. And even when you know you're not being perfect, that it's not anything that you're going to get your hand slapped, or we all stumble and fall. And it's just one of those, it's okay. Just like check it. Don't beat yourself up over it. Because then I think we tend to have the mentality, well, oh, if I'm already doing this and I'm going to get yelled at, I might as well just jump off the deep end anyway. Whereas like you get that like check and it's like, it's okay. Like just walk away. You're good. And then tomorrow's a new day. And I just have fun with everybody on it, and just having the comments and the support and everything. It just makes you feel really good about what you're doing. And it's not just you going through it, even though we're not all sitting next to each other. Yes, I can see my sisters and we can do it together, but there's other people across the community who are impacting me just as much as they are. So that's the kind of fun and cool thing about it.
That's awesome. And it's positive. I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen one negative comment ever in our shred group.
Right.
So, and if we do get anything that even kind of feels a little bit negative, like we take care of it, right? You know, like we just are on it, but we don't even have to. It's a community that is now 230 strong, 30 plus strong. So it's a really awesome community. I'm gonna go ahead and put the screen share back up, you guys. And we are gonna go to let's see, we're gonna go to our next slide. Whoops. I must not have, I need to stop that one. That didn't put me where I needed to go. Sorry. Let's go to this one.
So Irene, I'm introducing Irene, even though she kind of talked a little bit already. Back what I said before, she is going to talk to everybody about how you can meet us wherever you're at with, you know, where you want to be, and introduce you to some of the things, how you can actually start shredding with us.
Right, exactly. Thanks, Lisa. First, I want to thank our shredders for coming on here with us today and taking the time on Sunday during this, you know, holiday season and away from your shopping. So thank you very much for being with us and for chatting with us today. So exactly what is the next step? Well, we put together a few bundles that can get you started on your shred journey. The first one is called the Shred Bundle. Oops, my husband's calling me. I need to turn him off. Sorry about that. With the Shred Bundle, the Shred 10 bundle, you're going to get a 4-month supply of our fruit, vegetable, and berry blends, a 4-month supply of our omega blends, which are out of this world, and 60 servings of complete whole food based shake mix. That comes out to $140 a month for 4-month supply, or you can look at it at $4.67 a day for 4 months. And our second bundle is called our Completely Balanced Bundle. Again, you get a 4-month supply of your fruit and vegetable blends, 60 servings of the complete whole-based shake mix. That comes out to $85 a month for 4 months, or $2.83 a day for 4 months. And our last bundle is our duo or our trio. I like to call these our classics. You can get a 4-month supply of the fruit and vegetables for $50 for 4 months. And that comes out to $1.67 a month for 4 months. Or you can get the trio.
That's a little bit of a misprint. So it should be
$4.67
per day.
Per day,
Yeah.
that's right.
Sorry, I'll change this slide later.
I actually wrote that down. I'm like, oh, I think that's supposed to be a day.
Yeah.
And then the trio is a 4-month supply of your fruit, veggies, and berry blends. And that's $75 a month, or $2.50 a day for 4 months. And I like to look at it this way. This is a great comparison. You can get a grande decaf soy latte, which I think Kristen really likes.
Oh, it's my favorite.
For $5.45 a day with tip. Or you can add a Shred 10 bundle into your daily diet for $4.67 a day, and there's no tip required. Now that's a pretty good deal right there. And lastly, I want to talk about when you invest into your health, you get all of these great things. You get 4 months of science-backed whole food nutrition that will benefit your health whether you implement any other SHRED 10 guidelines or not. Access to our private Facebook group where you'll get recipes, health tips, motivation, and inspiration, just like you heard from some of our shredders today. An accountability group that is growing every month, as well as access to our SHRED 10 leaders who can answer any of your questions. And lastly, access to online resources such as our SHRED guide and our Taste the SHRED recipe book. And there's all kinds of other recipe books as well in our group. So if you're ready to get started, make sure you get back to the person who invited you here to this presentation. And I want to thank everybody for hopping on with us tonight and having this little health chat. And I want to thank again our shredders for joining us. And if anybody has any questions, make sure you get back to the person who did invite you to this.
And I'm gonna, oh, there's Lisa. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.